And House Majority Leader Eric Cantor calling President Obama disconnected. Now, we spoke with Leader Cantor earlier tonight. Nice to see you, sir.
Hey, Greta, how are you?
I'm very well. I want to talk about a number of things, including the scandals that are consuming D.C., and then I want to get into education. But let me go first to the scandals. The IRS. Do you think a special prosecutor should be appointed to investigate, or are you satisfied that Congress can do it alone, or should both be doing it?
Well, I mean, obviously, the situation with the IRS is very, very troubling. I don't care what party you're affiliated with in America. You don't expect that an incumbent president and his administration would use a neutral instrument like the tax enforcement agency, the IRS, to go about discriminating against political opponents. So it's a serious matter. I know here in Richmond we've had a Tea Party group that was targeted. I've been in touch with them since the minute they realized that that was the case. And we've got to get to the bottom of this. And I'm very proud of our committee chairmen and their members, both on the Ways and Means Committee, Chairman Camp, as well as Chairman Issa and the Oversight Committee, in the work that they're doing. And we will get to the bottom of this. And it is about producing the answers, about what the American people deserve, and that is people who have conducted these investigations. Why did they do it? Who gave them the orders to do so? When did everyone know? When did the White House know? And then in that way, we can make sure it does not happen again.
Just from the first thing you said, I'm curious, are you actually connecting the president to this scandal?
Well, I don't know what he knew and when he knew it. So he's got to come forward and lead on this. He has given the impression that somehow he's disconnected with what's going on at the IRS, just like he is now saying he was disconnected with what's going on in Benghazi. He's disconnected with what's going on in the DOJ as far as its investigation of the National Security Leak. It seems that he is disconnected with the leadership and lost focus in terms of what he should be doing as far as leading the country. So we've got to get to the bottom of this, and I do think the president's going to have to come forward and give the American people the answers that they deserve.
He's already said that he didn't find out about it until about May 10th when he read about it in the news. Number one, do you believe him on that? And number two, are you saying that that's simply not doing the job?
First of all, I just think we can let the facts speak for themselves, and that's why the work that our committees are doing, and Chairman Camp and Issa and their members on those committees are doing, is so important. They're conducting the investigations in a way that are fact-based, without assuming anything, but knowing full well that the American people have a right to feel violated when you have the tax enforcement agency exacting punishment, discriminating against certain groups of people. We just don't do that in America.
But I'm trying to understand, do you believe the president when he says he didn't learn about May 10th any of the IRS behavior?
Again, I think that the question is one that is appropriate. When did the president know? What kind of communications came from the IRS to the White House or vice versa with all of this? We don't even have the beginning of the answers to those questions, and that's what our committees are tasked with doing, and doing a very good job at being very fact-based, very methodical about going about getting the answers for the people of this country.
All right, Lois Lerner, the IRS employee, took the fifth. Technically, I think she's still under subpoena. I don't think she's been discharged from her subpoena. They can always they can also always re-subpoena her if she was. But should she come back? Should she be brought back to the hearing at the committee and answer questions?
Yeah, I think straight up, Ms. Lerner owes it to the American people to produce the answers, or she shouldn't be working for the American people. That's simple. If someone cannot come forward and explain what it is that she did, I think that she shouldn't be working for the American people anymore. It's that simple.
Department of Justice has started a criminal investigation. You think that's appropriate?
Well, look, national security is something, Greta, that all of us know is a priority. It's a constitutional imperative for the federal government to ensure, and that has to be dealt with. On the other hand, I know that we very much are a country that values the freedom of the press. In fact, the press are the watchdogs as far as government activity is concerned to make sure that we as people can hold our government accountable. So I do think that there are questions that need to be resolved here. Hopefully that the investigation that's ongoing at DOJ will produce some results. I know that our committees as well are very interested in monitoring that situation.
Well, there's one question sort of brewing out there, is whether or not the Attorney General misled the House Judiciary Committee when he denied, he said the potential prosecution of the disclosure material is not something he was involved in or knew about. Now, it seemed he might have been asked about the Associated Press and might not have been including the subpoena of James Rosen. I'm not exactly certain what he meant, but do you have any reason to believe that the Attorney General of the United States was misleading Congress?
Again, without imputing any of that intent right now, certainly we have a very troubling situation. Something that occurs as big as this would occur without the knowledge of the Attorney General or the suggestion that it would do so. So, again, I think the facts are going to be able to speak for themselves. This is a very serious matter, and one that, again, the American people deserve the answers that they seek. And I would just say, Greta, once again, we have an administration that's lost focus on governing, and that is very problematic going forward on all of these issues.
The Chairman Issa has sent now a subpoena to the Department of Justice asking for, it gives a deadline of Friday, June 7th. It's actually sent to Secretary of State John Kerry to provide documents and communication of 10 personnel, including Cheryl Mills, Counselor and Chief of Staff to former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, Victoria Nuland, who is a nominee for a new job, other people, William Burns, and, of course, Beth Jones, Acting Assistant Secretary for Near Eastern Affairs. He wants all these documents. Do you agree with him that the documents should be forthcoming by the 7th of June, and has the State Department been dragging its feet?
Well, no question that there is some dragging of the feet going on here, and the American people have a right to know what exactly happened that night when Benghazi burned, and we need to find the answers as to who knew what when, and what happened as far as the message that came after that from the administration.
And we will have much more Cantor coming up in a few minutes, but right now, Tea Party groups say they are being targeted again. They say, though, it isn't just the IRS, but now